Hi everyone, it's Yoselyn with Remax Realty team bringing you this month's Market Snapshot. Lee County activity. Days on the market is down slightly. Transaction counts have fallen across the county, and the surge of inventory will undoubtedly remain a buyer's market in Q1 and potentially into Q2. As a result, price adjustments will be susceptible in most of our areas. Inventory levels rose nearly 13% on average across the county in 1 month. Unlocking some 2025 opportunities, NAR forecasts that there will be an 8% drop in the number of agents in this country. Also projected for 2025, 50.1 million home sales. Fewer agents and more sales ultimately means opportunity. And what's the best way to take advantage of this information? The understanding of buyer and seller needs and how to assist them in navigating this market. What are buyers and sellers struggling with? A few years ago, the big obstacle was mortgage rates, inventory, etc. As we all know, that's a thing of the past. There are more inventory opportunities now than there have been in several years, and mortgage rates have averaged about 6% for the past 24 months. Buyers are no longer waiting or expecting mortgage rates to fall substantially. As I mentioned during our State of the Union last month, people have sort of acclimated to higher mortgage rates. The biggest challenge they have currently is high insurance premiums. So the question is, what can we do about it as their trusted advisor? How many of you are aware of flood insurance policies may be assumable? Typically, the NFIP flood policy, which is administered by FEMA, is assumable. The process is pretty straightforward and typically only requires a couple of signatures on a page or two. The buyer would essentially step into the shoes of the seller's flood policy. This would allow the buyer to maintain the favorable flood rating from the seller's flood policy. This is, of course, assuming the seller's flood policy has been in effect since before the rate change FEMA rolled out in 2022 or thereabouts. In addition to the assumption of the NFIP flood policy, we have at least one private flood carrier that will allow assumptions as well. It's best that the buying agent get the seller's flood declarations page as early in the process as possible to allow us time we need to navigate the flood assumption policies and possibilities. There's been so much in the past year about the value of agents and what you bring to the table. It's now more important than ever. According to NAR, all buyers need help in finding the right property, second to the paperwork, and third to understanding the process. All of those things are very much important for a first-time home buyer. And since they're our biggest group of buyers, it makes sense to cater and promote how we can solve their problem. Now let's shift gears to what a seller needs: marketing their home to potential buyers. Doing it in a way that makes it engaging, that helps them lower their stress levels, pricing it competitively to sell, and selling within their specific time frame. What needs to be fixed up, or how do they find a buyer for this? Unfortunately, the second doesn't always happen. Let's take a closer look. 135,000 listings will expire in the U.S. in January. In our area, that was 806 residential properties, 350 single-family homes in Lee County. 517 residential properties were terminated. On average, 15 to 25% of listings expire each month, and on average, 58% sell. People will follow what you can logically and tangibly explain. And most of the relisted homes have sold, the ones that came back on the market last year. An overwhelming majority, 58% and 71% sold after the listing with another agent. Thanks for watching. See you again next month. And remember, success is your only option.